Welcome back to the Weeb Lounge, and if you haven't figured this out yet, I really do like my slice of life comedy anime, and this one's no exception. This is Working with an exclamation point or two at the end of that title. It's basically about a bunch of people that work at a restaurant called Wagnaria, and they all have issues. All right, now, considering all the issues and everything these characters have, I'm not even too sure I'd want to eat there. They don't do anything to the food, seem to be good cooks, but hey, you might get punched in the face by one of them, just saying. The main protagonist, Sota. Sota is this guy who really, really likes small, cute things. He's often called a lolicon. It's not what it is, but it's what it comes off as. It's not to his, it's a detriment, definitely a detriment for this guy. But overall, this guy is probably the most level-headed of all the employees there. He's the main protagonist. He kind of takes control of the situation and then loses his mind when he sees something cute. Okay. This guy didn't have that great of an upbringing. Now, he is very hardworking. He will put all of his effort to getting whatever task needs to be done. Very, very reliable. This is because of his family life. He was kind of forced to do all this stuff, housework, cleaning, etc., to the point where, he almost kind of finds it relaxing or even enjoyable to some degree. But the reason why he really likes the small, cute things kind of is because he's basically raised by 4 older sisters. And they messed with him a lot. They messed with him. They even made him cross-dress a lot. Yeah. A lot. Apparently, like all the hand-me-downs and everything, they had mostly girls' clothes and stuff, so sometimes they were just like, hey, dress up like this and do what you gotta do. It's, yeah. Eventually, he got his guy clothes and everything, and he fix that, but there's episodes in Working where situations arrive that it will kind of make sense here shortly, that him cross-dressing was the thing to do in a way. Okay, I get on to the next character. Popora. Popora is a short stack. By that I mean someone who is relatively short but has big old titties. Okay, there's no other way to put it. That's a short stack, short, big tits. That's what it is. She is very energetic, very friendly, super happy, go lucky. Also another reliable employee and such, but she's easily flustered. And Sota, he kind of takes a shine to her and everything because, she's short. She's a high school kid, same age as Sota, but she always gets misinterpreted as like an elementary school girl or something because she's so short. But when you see her being so short, but yet so boom, that kind of goes out the window, don't you think? If you use a little bit of logic, and yeah, it's those two don't go together. Yep. And Soda's always kind of not always, but being mean to her, kind of putting her in her place, maybe patting her on the head once in a while. Just be like, okay, you're kind of cute. Calm down. And Popora's kind of like, she doesn't like that because she thinks she's being treated like the elementary girl that she's not, and that she hates that idea, but at the same time, it's like, oh, this is kind of nice. That's weird, girl. Okay. The real female protagonist of this series is Inami. Inami. This is why I use a tablet, because I can't remember names for nothing. Inami is really strong. Okay, she was raised by her father, and her father basically instilled onto her that all men are shite. Pretty much. All men are wolves, all men are out to hurt you and use you and blah, blah, blah. So Inami ends up being fearful of men. She doesn't like to be around men. She doesn't want to have anything to do with them. And, she always would carry weights and stuff around with her to help protect her in case she has to throw her bag at somebody and it's weighted and stuff. And she's really athletic on top of that. So when she's being really, really athletic, Plus, she's carrying all these weights around her. It's not just in her bag, apparently. She carries a bunch of weights with her. She ends up being like superhuman strong for the way she looks. You know, take Dragon Ball Z, Goku training with the weights and everything. You know, oh, you have a power of 2,000. Take all the weights off. Oh, wow, you're over 9,000. You know, something like that. That's Inami. She's really strong. She can put dents in walls easy. She's and that's a really bad thing. She's really incredibly strong, and her first act running into a guy is basically punch them in the face. She instinctively doesn't think about it. She just sees a guy gets too close, punch him in the face. Considering how strong she is, it should probably just collapse their skull. And, you know, Sota kind of gets, you know, the fist plenty of times there. But Inami and Sota actually end up becoming a thing, right? She hates guys, but she doesn't want to be like that. She knows it's not right. And Sota is trying to help her out, and that's kind of where one of the cross-dressing things come in, because when he cross-dresses as a girl, she doesn't have that intense reaction to him that, you know, it's a mental game, right? He's dressed as a girl, so her willingness to punch in face goes away a little bit. Okay. Those are basically your three main characters. Sota and Inami really are the two main, and it's the relationship that they're trying to build throughout the series. Popora is kind of like a connector. She's a foil for them two, along with other characters. Almost like, you think of it as a narrator role. She kind of goes around or whatever, kind of advancing the storyline with all these characters and stuff, but she doesn't really have a main thing herself. It's kind of weird, but it works for her as a character. Okay. What about the damn store itself? The store is run by Kyoko. It's a biker chick. Seriously, it's like this mean, badass biker chick, and she's the manager of this podunk restaurant. I don't know what she does. Apparently she makes the hiring decisions. Apparently she sits in the office all day doing I don't know what. And every once in a while, her right-hand girl, Yachiko, brings her some sweets once in a while. She eats them up, and everybody's happy. I really don't know what she does. I'm assuming she's sitting in the back office doing paperwork and stuff or whatever, trying to be responsible. But she does not seem like the responsible type. Yachiko, on the other hand, she's the girl you'll always see walking around with a sword. Why is she allowed to walk around with a sword while she's waiting tables? Who the hell knows? She comes across as a motherly figure, okay? She's like young college age, 20 or something like that. She's walking around with a sword, and I think she was like in the gang that Kyoko was or something, and they became it's a little Yuri in a sense, but more admiration, not Yuri, not scissoring kind of thing. It's hard to explain her. It really is. She's okay. I'll just go on to the next character. Sato. Sato is the blonde guy sitting in the back. He's one of the cooks, and he's got a thing for Yachiko. A huge thing. Sato is like this cool, calm guy who is sarcastic as hell to like everybody. Okay, he like don't care, sarcasm. But when it comes to Yachiko, he loses his shit, and that's a thing that kind of keeps going. And of course, Yachiko's oblivious to it most of the time. Popora, being the narrator connector girl, is not oblivious to this and tries to connect the dots. And so basically, you have one relationship with a guy that likes really small, cute things, learning to fall in love with another girl that wants to just punch him in the face. I mean, that actually sounds a little more normal than I feared. You have a cook who is sarcastic about everything, but flips his shit over a girl that is clueless about it and carries a sword and willing to chop his hand off, probably. Yeah, it's a bunch of weirdness. Okay, the weirdness don't stop. You got Soma. Soma's actually kind of like the smart one in this whole thing. He's another cook, right? And it's like he knows everything. It's like this guy is mafia almost, or like secret agent spy guy or something. It seems like for whatever reason, he figures out and knows everything going around with everybody and uses that information to get other information and stuff. He's an information whore. That's what he is. I just thought of that. That's what he is. Information whore. He loves meddling, I guess, and doing and that and stuff. Okay, last character I'm going to introduce is Yamada. Yamada, I don't think that's not a real name. Nope. Aoi Yamada. Aoi, I guess, is her part of her real name, but Yamada, it's not. She shows up. I think she shows up with Oto, who is like the district manager or something like that. He shows up once in a rare while. It's like, is everything okay? Okay, whatever, and leaves, you know. But Yamada just kind of shows up and gets a job. Okay. Supposedly she's an orphan. Her parents died in a fire. Yay. Oh. But it just doesn't make sense, right? And for another thing that doesn't make sense, she ends up like living in the attic of the restaurant. That's like her house. That's where she lives now. Attic of the restaurant. She comes down every once in a while to do pretty much nothing. They send her out to waitress, she breaks dishes. They try to make her cook, she burns everything. She tries to clean stuff, she'll like break the coffee machine or something. She's worthless. She doesn't even need to be employed or worthless, but she's there. That's that character. And you know, Yamada, that's not her real name. Supposedly, like I said, she's an orphan. Parents died in a fire and stuff, but that's not true. Apparently, she's from a really, really wealthy family and ran away because why the hell not? Yep. Spoiled rich girl doesn't want to be spoiled rich girl anymore, I guess. Yeah. So she goes to live in the attic of a restaurant. It's anime logic. I mean, this is real life shit right here. But you know, that's kind of the anime overall. It's a bunch of goofy situations playing out in a restaurant, for the most part. I love it. I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to go here necessarily to eat. Maybe stand outside, look through the window, and see, you know, who's getting punched by Inami today, you know, that kind of thing. But other than that, I mean, it's a great anime. I mean, you know, punching in the face is fine. Swords and short stag, big titties, and yeah, okay. It's an anime I recommend. I'll just leave it at that. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit whatever button you got in front of you. Growing channel needs to grow, and with that, we will see you in the next video.